Hello guys, Ollie the Choc here, and I'm super excited to share with you my Easter egg making kit. So I'm going to show you how to use this. Let's see what we've got inside. So we've got milk and white Belgian chocolate. You've got your Easter egg mold in 2 halves, and you've got your accessory pack, which has got your greaseproof paper, your piping bags, and your lollipop sticks. And we've also got some lovely bags to put your finished product in afterwards. So you will need plastic microwavable bowls ideally, wooden spoons or something to stir it with, doesn't really matter, and some scissors. I recommend using a plastic bowl because the plastic doesn't retain the heat as much as, say, a glass or a porcelain bowl. However, if you do need to use one of those, then just make sure that you transfer the heated liquid chocolate into a cool bowl in order to bring down the temperature. I'll show you exactly how it's done and you'll get a much better feel for it. The word that I have in mind, the most important skill, is tempering. Now, you have to get the chocolate up to a certain temperature, that's about 40 degrees, and then cool it down to about 33 degrees. I don't use a thermometer, I simply go by the look, the feel, I check it on my lip, I splash it. I'll show you right now. You'll be able to follow this step by step to make the most amazing Easter eggs. Just going to tip some of these out, saving a few chocolate buttons. It's super important that you do that because, well, you'll see why in a minute. White chocolate in the microwave, 10-15 seconds at a time. Keep moving it, keep stirring it so that the heat is distributed and therefore it doesn't burn. If you're using a microwave, it will melt the middle bit first, so that's where you're going to get the most heat. So just make sure you stir it there. If it does burn, you can simply isolate the middle, take it out, take the burnt chocolate away, dispose of it safely. If you are using a pan, bain-marie, or on a hard induction gas, you can use all those methods absolutely fine. Again, just make sure you keep stirring it. On a pan, it will burn around the edges, so just keep stirring it. Keep it on a really low but consistent heat. Alright, so I'm going to just keep heating this 10-15 seconds at a time. As I say, keeping a close eye on it. This has been in for maybe 20 seconds, and it's already, I would say, 2/3 liquid, and there's a little bit of heat in the bowl, which means that it will continue to warm the chocolate. So pay close attention to the temperature of the bowl as well. If your bowl's really hot, it's kicking more heat into the chocolate. So if it's too hot, you might want to transfer it to a neutral temperature bowl. Transfer it to a cool bowl, but then the reason why we've saved these solid pieces of chocolate is to continually add those back in. Lumps are good because lumps will cool down the chocolate to the perfect temperature. It should be cool on your lip. So we're looking for a nice cool liquid. Any lumps that are in there, you can simply remove them. If it's too lumpy, stick it back in the microwave for just 2 or 3 seconds. If it's slightly warm, ever so slightly, on your lip, then what you need to do is add solid pieces of chocolate to it. Keep doing that. That method is called seeding. Now, the reason why tempering is super important is because we are adding the right size crystals to the chocolate. The chocolate that we've got here from Belgium, it has already been through that tempering process. It's got a strong structure, and it's all about the formation of those crystals, the cocoa butter crystals in the chocolate. So it already has a good snap. And when we add these solid pieces, not only do they cool down the chocolate as they dissolve, but they are reintroducing the correct size crystals so that when we work with it, it will set quite quickly. It'll have a good snap, a good shine, and a smooth texture. So if you don't temper the chocolate properly, you will have the opposite results. It will be dull rather than shiny. It won't have that snap. It will crumble. It will be grainy. It's still edible, but it's not going to look quite as good. If you've ever seen chocolate where it's got the white speckles on the top, that's called bloom, and that's because the chocolate either hasn't been tempered properly or it's been in a fluctuation of temperature and kept in different environments. So this chocolate now looks good to me. It's gone slightly thicker, and I've got a little lump in there that has shrunk a little bit, but it doesn't look to me like it's going to shrink anymore. And the bowl isn't warm anymore. So there's 2 things that I'm going to do. Well, one is just to splash a little bit of chocolate on a neutral surface like greaseproof paper. And the second thing is just check it on my lip, making sure that you've washed your hands before, of course. And that now is distinctly cool. So we're ready to chop and roll. Just pay close attention to that temperature on your lip. Your lip is your body's most sensitive part for temperature. You are a human thermometer, and if it's not distinctly cool on your lip, what are you going to do? That's right, you're going to add more solid pieces to it to cool it down. So, you don't need very much of this at all. Okay, pop it in the bag. If it still feels warm, if it feels a little bit warm in the bag, then just put a chocolate button in and just massage it to cool it down a little bit. If it starts to set in the bag, then just pop it in the microwave for like 2 or 3 seconds. In between, what I like to do is keep the bag on top of the microwave where it's slightly warm, or even on the glass plates inside there. What you have to do is just make sure you don't leave it to warm up. You don't want it to get too high in temperature because the chocolate simply won't set. Tempered chocolate shrinks when it sets, and that's how the chocolate releases from the mould. So that's why it's important. If the chocolate isn't tempered, it won't shrink, it won't release from the mould, it'll be stuck. So, all about the tempering, boys and girls. I've just taken a tiny little bit off the end of the bag, like 1 millimetre cut from the corner. Let me just show you that one more time so you've got that. It's piping bag technique. It's all about folding the bag over, folding it in half, picking a corner, and I like to fold it right the way over my hand, so it makes it so much easier to get the chocolate right in the corner there. Half a spoon, it's about a tablespoon amount there. Fold the bag up to the top, alleviate the air, and then spin it round like that so it's easy to tie it in a knot, and then it can't go anywhere. Again, just a tiny little hole from the corner, and then you can start your nice designs. Stripey, you can do crisscross, you can, I like to do stripes with like spots in between, lots of little spots in between. You can draw faces on these, could be like little character eggs. There's so much you can do with Easter eggs. It's literally the best time of year for making chocolate. The creativity levels are high. So have fun with this, guys, at home. In between piping your detail, why not balance a chocolate button on your nose and try and catch it in your mouth? Or pipe a chocolate moustache on your face, or mummy and daddy. Okay, so this is that. Spots, stripes, anything you want. Chocolate moustaches and chocolate tattoos on yourself in between. This is all about having fun and playing with chocolate. So let's do a smiley face on this one. Then we're going to wait for the white chocolate to set. I'm going to put some crazy hair on this one. Wait for that to set, and then we're going to fill it with milk chocolate. Keeping that in the microwave in between so it doesn't set. We can use the white chocolate again for the lollipops. There's enough chocolate in here to make 2 eggs and 2 lollies. There's only 1 mould, so you're going to need to take turns if you're doing it between 2 of you. But what you could do is make half each, put them in the fridge or the freezer, and then make half each again. So technically, you're always busy. Something else that you could do, making sure of course that you've washed your hands, pipe some white chocolate in and just brush it in with your finger, or even just with the end of the piping bag, and you'll make a nice marble effect. Brushed marble on the inside, and that'll be really effective when we pour the milk chocolate in afterwards. Exactly the same process with the milk chocolate, making sure that we don't burn it. Keep stirring it all the time. We want to make sure we melt 2/3 of that, because what that does then is means that we save 1/3 of solid chocolate to mix in with the rest of it. Ultimately, that's the best balance because you've got that tempering process going on straight away. If it's not cool enough, then just making sure you've got some solid pieces as backup to bring the temperature down until it's cool on your lip. But you can do it in one go. Like I say, if you're lucky, you'll get a feel for it as you keep playing with it. So just keep mixing it until all the buttons melt. If you've got a few lumps in there, that's okay. That tells you that the chocolate's cool enough. If it's too lumpy, put it back in the microwave for a few seconds. And if it's too warm, add more lumps. As I said before, a nice cool liquid chocolate that should be cool on your lip. Let's check this now. That's distinctly cool, but it is quite lumpy. Depends how fussy you are. I'm going to give that 2 more seconds. That will make a difference. It's amazing the difference that makes. Just a couple of seconds in the microwave. Just got rid of those lumps. Awesome. Right, the white chocolate hasn't set properly. I don't want to smudge it, so I'm going to pop it in the freezer for like 5 seconds. Some nice detail on the inside of the mold. I didn't want to leave that in there for too long, so I don't want the mold to be too cold. Let's just do 1/2 first. So I'm going to fill that up about halfway and generally just keep moving that around. So I've just filled it up halfway and I'm just going to keep moving it round, building up the layer around the edge. It's all about creating a nice thick layer so the egg is nice and strong. It's so much fun doing this. It's so therapeutic. So you will need something just to scrape the edge of this. Maybe a plastic scraper or a knife, but be very careful. Make sure you're accompanied by an adult if you use anything sharp. You can see that? Just literally rolling it round. This is a very traditional way of making an egg, and it's great because you can see exactly what's going on inside. So you can make it thin if you like it thin, or nice and thick if you prefer it that way. You'll be able to see around the edges when the chocolate's starting to set, it'll start going slightly dull. And that's great if you can see that, because that means that your chocolate is tempered perfectly. So when it starts to go dull around the edges, just simply repeat that process, building up the layers. As it starts to go dull, you can go for it with your second layer and third layer. Just keep repeating that until you feel like the egg's looking nice and thick. Have a little think about what you would like to put inside the egg. Okay, so I have built up a nice thick layer on the inside of the egg mold. Now I'm just going to shake out a little bit of excess, and I'm going to just use this plastic spatula just to go around the edge to make sure there's no excess chocolate. As you can see, like that. Make sure that's nice and clean. Actually, I'm going to put that upside down just to allow the chocolate to drip down a little bit to give it a little extra thickness so it's nice and strong. Same on the other side. Leave that for a couple of minutes. Okay, that's starting to set nicely now. Before you put it in the fridge or the freezer, just have a little look as you go around. Just maybe, what I like to do, just for good measure, go around it, a little spatula or something, just to get a little bit more chocolate around the edge, to make sure it's extra strong, extra strong. You'll be able to see if you've got any gaps there, and you can literally just get a little bit on the edge of the spatula and just rush that on there. Because that'll come in really handy, especially when it comes to sticking it together with a bit of chocolate glue afterwards. Pop it back upside down again, with good measure. Okay, we're ready to pop those in the freezer now. Just leaving them on the greaseproof paper, popping them inside. Okay guys, whilst the eggs are setting, fridge or freezer is fine. It's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes in the freezer, 10 to 15 minutes in the fridge. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make some Easter lollipops now. So using tempered milk chocolate and the small squares of greaseproof paper from your kit, and then of course your lollipop sticks. We're simply going to, well, let me show you how these are going to look. So you've got this one, Happy Easter, and this one which is supposed to be a bunny. Okay, let me get this spatula out of the way. Swap that for a spoon. Okay, so a tablespoon or half a wooden spoon measure of chocolate onto the greaseproof paper. Give it a little shake from side to side so it goes a little bit bigger and smoother, and then you're going to be a chocolate artist, brushing the chocolate from the inside out. So this one is my spiky Easter lolly. So just keep brushing it all the way around. But you can use this technique to make any shape you want. So you can do a character with spiky hair, maybe even a bandana. You're going to put half the stick flat and roll it so the top of the stick is covered, alright? And then, so that's your spiky one. For the bunny rabbit, big blob of chocolate there, leaving some space at the top for the bunny's ears. I'm just going to shake it from side to side, and then again with the stick, brushing the chocolate from the middle to do the ears. Just keep brushing it so you get nice tall ears there. Keep on going, just keep brushing it. Got to be quick with this before the chocolate sets, and don't forget to put your stick in as well. So once you've done the detail, okay, ears, whiskers, simply again half the stick flat and roll it. Now we've got some white chocolate left from before, which I've kept on top of the microwave. You can mix white and milk chocolate together, by the way. It just makes a nice creamy milk chocolate even better. So start with the bunny rabbit. Piping on the detail, the face, the ears. Alright, bunny. And this bag has got a much smaller hole, so for a much finer flow. I've just cut this very slightly so it comes out nice and fine. Happy Easter, you can write your name on it so nobody else can try and pinch it. If the chocolate blocks up in the bag, just give it a little pinch at the end and you'll get the set chocolate out and you'll be ready to go again. Right, the egg is ready to come out of the mould now. Well, it's been in the freezer for about 10 minutes, but it goes like a frosted colour. You can just tell the chocolate has come away from the mould, and you can simply take those off, nice and easy. So we'll be using some chocolate glue to stick those together. If you want to put anything inside it, maybe some chocolate buttons, some sweets, a little love note, whatever you want, then you're going to use some of this already tempered milk chocolate and just go around the edge. You can use a piping bag, or you can just do what I'm doing here, just kind of brushing that on and then push it together. And you're just going to need to leave it, so it does take a little bit of patience. You don't want to handle it for too long because you will melt the chocolate in your hands. But if you're not touching it, it's going to be absolutely fine. Just leave that to set. And what I'm also going to do is put a little blob of chocolate on the paper, because when that starts to set, I can stand the egg up. At this point, guys, as well, you could always do some extra detail on the top in white chocolate so it stands out even better. But you could even cover it in some chocolate and then just spike it. So again, making sure you've got clean hands, or using gloves and just like spiking the chocolate. That was quite effective, spiky egg. But guys, let me know your ideas of how you want to decorate your egg, and do send your pictures to us on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and let us know in the comments what you've been doing. Perhaps you'll find a way of colouring yours, a bit of edible glitter perhaps. So those of you that are perfectionists, if you've got any gaps, then you can just grab a piping bag and just go around it to fill those gaps. So the egg is completely sealed. And then you can just push that like that, so it's nice and neat. Any chocolate you've got left, chocolate moustaches, chocolate tattoos. Any problems with this, guys? If your egg breaks or anything like that, if you want to do your lolly again, simply melt it back down again. That's the great thing with chocolate. You can melt it and reshape it as many times as you want. So in between eggs, you'll need to wash the mould, or simply just go around it with a cloth and just get rid of any residue from the last egg, just to make sure that your next ones are just as shiny. So what I'm doing here is keeping my eye on this little blob of chocolate. You only need a little tiny bit, about the size of like 1 penny. And once it's starting to set, once it's starting to go slightly dull, you can stick your egg down on top. Okay, so once your egg has set, just being very careful and making sure that all the detail is completely solid, so it's not going to smudge. You are then going to pack it in the bag that we provide in your kits. So open this up, keeping the seam at the back. Just going to drop this in. In you go, lad. Look at that beauty. Right. Then you'll just need something to tie it with, a little bit of string, bit of ribbon, see what you can find. What can I find? Grab some ribbon. Little piece of ribbon or something like that just to tie it, to keep it fresh. Not quite sure how long these will last, so it might be ambitious suggesting that you pack it in the first place. But it's all part of the fun. It's like having your own little chocolate shop at home. I would love to see your creation, so please do send me pictures of your lollies and your Easter eggs. But there we go. How cute is that? Have fun, guys. Happy Easter. Peace, love, chock and roll.